So the entire Eastern philosophy is based on one consciousness, one Brahman. There is no other. So in ancient times, all the texts that were written, people understood the world as it is, experienced the world as it is, and prescribed living as it is. The problem came into existence when religion was formed. So the ancient system was just a way of living your life. It was called Sanatana Dharma. And it was just the way one lives, going through as it is. There was no prescription for people to live a certain life. So you didn't have to be a certain way to live a certain life. This was decided entirely by you. Because each person, each one of us is unique. So there was no one rule that could be applied to everybody. So everybody cannot go off carbohydrates. Everybody doesn't have to get off sugar. Everybody doesn't have to drink 1 cup of coffee a day. Everybody doesn't have to walk 10,000 steps a day. Do you see that? That each one of us is unique, yet we are so influenced by what is prescribed for everyone. The problem came with the formalization of religion. So somebody decided they would give a little story about somebody living somewhere else, a man living in the clouds, and the place that he lived in was much better than anything you could ever have. Okay. And then came the concept of a heaven and a hell, of good, of bad and evil. All these opposites. So if you did something, you went to the temple every Friday, you were good. You didn't go to church, you're bad. You marry one man only, you're good. You marry 5 different men, you're bad. And the minute they said something is good and something is bad, that got converted into a terrible disease which is afflicting the whole of society. I was watching a video yesterday and I realized how true it is. If you see that the ancient sages, some 5, 6, 10,000, I don't even know the date, described relations between a man and a woman, the various possibilities, as it is, just a description, without thinking that this was going to be a wildly popular book that's going to get on the New York Times bestseller list. And it was called the Kama Sutra, right? I heard about it. Oh, now we think it's a very exciting book. Why? Because it's about that which is bad. It's the taboo thing, right? And it's exciting. It's like all the stuff that's prohibited is so exciting. So what is natural to the body becomes a disease when it enters the mind. Sex is so natural. Procreation is so natural. It's how we all came. One day somebody asked Guruji, I remember, I digress a little, but this is a great one. They asked Guruji, they thought they would trip him up. They say, so Guruji, what do you think about sex? And he says, well, sex is the reason you are born, but don't make it the reason you die. That's all he said. It's a beautiful answer. Right? So, do you see that it is the reason that we are so caught up in all these evaluations of our life is because there is a prescription of what is good and what is bad. Thou shalt not covet your neighbor. It is only the neighbor that you covet. The minute you, till then you didn't even notice the neighbor. Right? But as soon as you were told that you should not look at the neighbor, that's all you're looking at. If nobody talked about chocolate and nobody told you how bad it is for you, would you love it so much? You look at the chocolate, you think, this is not good for me. It's going to increase my sugar. There's fun in doing just this one time, I'll do it. What's going to happen? And as soon as you put it in your mouth, those endorphins, that serotonin is released. And that serotonin is a good feeling hormone. It is a natural hormone in your body. As soon as it's released, you say, this is so good. But you've got this idea in your head that you know it's bad. And your body is saying it's good. So you're caught in this horrible tug of war of opposites. Continually fighting within yourself about what is good and what is bad, what is good, what is bad, what is accepted, what is not accepted. And you buy into it. You buy into it. The sad thing is that religion, which was supposed to give people peace, is taking away the peace that it was originally intended for. Because you get so torn. There is so much guilt associated with it. Guilt of not doing. I don't know about how it is with so much with Christianity, but with Hindus, we're constantly making amends. I mean, there are priests that are continually doing what you call prayashchit or penance. I think you have it in Christianity too. Continually doing penance for what you're doing wrong. Worrying about how much evil you're doing, how much sin you're committing. The sin is not that much in action, it's much more in your head. Stay away, Krishna says, from the opposites. The entire Bhagavad Gita, this is the theme. To develop a balance. And it's like, I always have a sense of a justice scale. That I am always not too happy and not too sad. Not too glad and not too unhappy about things. I just keep that balance in mind. That whenever I feel an overwhelming sense of feeling very happy, I know that it's going to be followed immediately by a crash. It's like that sugar high that you get, right? You have that chocolate, it's such a good feeling. Then you crash. Because your body is now releasing insulin. And now it's telling you that, hey, you're hungry. You need to eat more food. This is one of the reasons actually why we consume a lot of carbohydrates. This is exactly what happens within the body. And you have to stay away from opposites for this very reason. For this very reason. The opposites tangle you into a web that you cannot escape from. You don't want things that give you pain. You want things that give you pleasure. So you run away from everything that causes you pain. in pursuit of pleasure. And 90% of this world is in the pursuit of pleasure. Bodily pleasure, which they think is, the idea of of having fun. And that's how, you get into sometimes I wonder, why do college children, why do kids think that having fun means getting so drunk that they can't stand? Why do they think that? Who taught them this? Somebody has taught them this. And now the entire society feels that if they are not in a relationship, if they are not, drinking, if they're not, celebration is getting a cake, a sweet cake. Why? Why do you need a cake to celebrate? Somebody has taught you this. Why must you be on vacation to enjoy the world? Somebody has taught you this, right? So that's the pleasure. That's the aspect that everything is going right with the world. And the pain is doing the work, is going through the illness, is going through the job loss. You don't want that. You'll do anything to avoid the pain. Your entire life is caused by craving and aversion. Cravings and aversions. This is what we are buffeting between all day, every day. And we don't enjoy the world as it is. We see our happiness as being something outside of us. In this world, that this world is going to provide for you. But it's all a dream. It's all a dream. One day you're all going to wake up and you're going to find that you're just ants in the patio. Did anyone see that video I sent you on WhatsApp? That little 9-year-old boy.
Yeah.
We're all ants in the patio. We're nothing. We think this is a world. Oh my God, there's another big world out there. And we're the ants. What are you going to do when that happens? You think that your life is so fantastic? See what you're doing. How are you spending this life? You're spending this life chasing after pleasure and running away from pain. Embrace the pain in your life, and you will grow to higher and higher states of evolution, states of consciousness, where everything in this world will just be one. You'll see the world as just one consciousness. That's the goal. That's the ultimate reality. Where you see things as they are. Not good, not bad, not evil, not saintly. Where nothing causes you pain because you're not chasing after pleasure. When you chase after pleasure, it does cause you pain. That first drink, that makes you laugh a little bit, crack a few jokes. And the second drink, you can feel the burning a little bit in your gullet. By the 7th drink, you're throwing up. By the 7th month of doing that, your liver doesn't function anymore. Pleasure causes pain. Stay away from the opposites. Having one drink once in a while is totally different from drinking all the time. Chasing after that. That drink must not make you feel complete. You are complete in yourself. Your happiness is just a feeling inside your heart. And you can only access that in silence. And when you are in that silence, in that feeling of peace, you have nothing. Do you ever notice that when you are meditating, you're so completely at peace with yourself? You need nothing more in that moment. A glass of wine won't make it better. Smoking weed won't make it better. That's the reason I've got a problem with beer yoga and weed yoga. It defeats the sanctity of what I'm talking about. We're trying to escape from the outer world of pleasure and pain and get into an inner world where the scales are completely balanced. There is no pleasure, there is no pain, it just is what is. There is no anger, there is no exuberance, there is no dullness. It's just right in the middle, somewhere in the middle. And if you try to get back to that center every time, you won't feel so hurt. A couple of days before, I was upset because someone I considered a close friend left me out of something. And I was trying to think, why am I feeling this feeling of being let down? Will going to a special event make my life any more fulfilled than it is now? After all, these are just things that we're filling our lives with. Things that we're doing. What are we doing? We're just filling our life our outside world, okay, with little different things. I'm doing a book release, you're working on a document, you're doing something else, helping people to their returns, or somebody else is doing volunteering. We're filling our days with little pockets of things. We're saying, this makes me happy, this makes me happy, this makes me happy, this makes me happy. But what is that happiness? Where is that feeling coming from? Are you in the pursuit of pleasure, or are you in the pursuit of happiness? These are two different things. There is only one feeling. There is only one. There is only one. There is only one. That feeling of happiness, of being centered. Then everything you do is very natural, very effortless. Nothing bothers you so much. Once you get to that place of being centered, and you find that these little things, you can let it go. They're like little ripples. Guruji always says, you must feel the anger. You can't help it, right? These are emotions that are going to come up. The anger, the disappointment, the disillusionment. These feelings do come up. But don't let it come up and take over your whole mind. Let it come up like a little ripple, like as if you've thrown a little stone in a river. A few ripples on the surface, and then gone. Gone. Guruji will always say, draw a line in the water. And have that vision. Have that vision that I'm just drawing this line. This is my anger, this is my resentment that this person didn't include me. This is my resentment that this happened or that someone was mean to me, or someone said something to me, or that I can't eat this and I can't enjoy that, or I can't go on a vacation. This is my resentment. It's a line in the water. I'm happy, I'm relaxed, I'm calm, I'm peace, I'm joy. Happiness is my birthright, and I will never allow anything, any person, any event, any situation to deny me.